Hello, friends. And we have all 6 pieces on the board for white. Different pieces. And today we're going to learn their values. Just first, take a guess at what do you think the order is of pieces in value. And I'm going to give you a hint. Most of the pieces follow what they should be. If you look back to those How Do the Pieces Move videos, if you can remember how many squares each piece could move to in the center of the board, that would help you a lot with this. But it won't just give you the answer straight away. Okay, pause your videos. What is the order of pieces in value? Okay, here's the answer from most important to least important. The king. Obviously, the king is the most important because if you lose him, you lose the game. The queen is the second most important because she can move to the most squares. Remember? Back to our queen video, I think she could move to 27 squares. No, I think. I can't remember exactly. You can tell me if I'm wrong. So the queen is second most important. Next is the rook. Because the rook could move to 14 squares, the bishop only 13. Okay, and even though the bishop can move to 13 squares in the middle of the board, and the knight can only move to 8, the knight can cover all the squares on the board, and it has a very unique way of moving, which can give it some good tactics. So bishops and knights are actually equal. So far we've got king, queen, rook, bishop, knight, and finally pawn. It's the weakest piece, although it could turn into the second most important piece, or the third most important piece, or one of the joint fourth most important pieces. It can turn into anything apart from the king. But as a pawn, unless it's really close to promoting, then it's not very important compared to the other pieces. Okay, so now I will tell you the actual numbers of the pieces, which will help you when you're deciding which pieces to swap. Like, if you're not just going to swap one piece for the other, if you're going to swap a whole load of pieces, you'll need this. Okay. The king doesn't have a value because you can never swap him. But if you use him properly in the end game, when there isn't many pieces to checkmate him, he can be worth more than a bishop or a knight. Some grandmasters say he's 4 points. The queen is 9. The rook is 5. Bishops and knights are both 3. And the pawn is 1. I'm going to give you a few swaps and see if you would do them. Okay. Let's say, I'll find a position for you as well, in case any of you are visual learners. Okay, we're back. Would you take the bishop and then let the bishop take your rook and get 2 bishops for a rook? Would you do that? Well, I would, because the bishop is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6, and a rook is 5. So black gets 6 and loses 5. I would do that, yeah. Every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Maybe that's an American expression. I'm not sure. But I would do it. Let's get up another position. Okay, who would you say is winning here? Pause your videos. You said white? Pretty easy, right? Because you count the pieces. Black has, if you want to count the kings, you can. 13, 4 and 9. And then white has 4, add 3 is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Add 2 rooks, 2 times 5 is 10. And that would be 25 against 13. Pretty easy for win. Pretty easy a win for white. Okay, next position. Also, by the way, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you a position where points don't matter. Where the person who's actually got more points is completely losing somehow. Who cares about points? You can clearly see that white has a lot more points in this position. And also, a good way to count, a quicker way is for pieces to cancel out pieces. Like, if you both got a bishop, cancel them out, queens cancel each other out. So white's got an extra 1, 2, 3 pawns and 2 rooks. You don't just have to count all of the pieces and all of the points. That will take way longer. Okay, so here, who cares about points? Sometimes points don't matter, like in this position. White's got a lot of points, but none of them are defending this square. And here comes check and mate. The white king can't go here because of the queen, 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 and can't take the queen because of black's bishop. Okay, so points aren't everything, but if your opponent has no compensation and you have some extra pieces, you're probably going to go on to win the game. Okay, bye. Hope you learned something, and goodbye.